Okay, today we are going to talk about dividing decimals. GBC number 1, the walkaway is I can divide multi-digit decimals. Okay, important vocabulary that we need to review. The quotient is the answer, keyword is the answer, to any division problem. It's called the quotient. Divisor, the number by which another number is being divided. And finally, the dividend is a number that is being divided into parts. We'll better understand those three as we move along. So the steps for dividing decimals. If given a horizontally written problem, the first number always goes under the box or house. Example, 3.2 divided by 1.1. So you write the 3.2, that goes in the house, divided by 1.1. Okay, and rule number 2, if there is a decimal, write in the word decimal, if there is a decimal in the divisor, move it the amount of spaces needed to be at the end of that number. So you're making that decimal number a whole number. You move it all the way to the right until it becomes a whole number. Step number 3. If you have a decimal in the divisor and the dividend, then move the decimal in the dividend the same number of spaces to the right as you did for the divisor. So whatever you had to do to change this decimal number to a whole number, you're going to move that decimal the same number of places inside the house as well. Okay, number 4. After the decimals have been moved, place your decimal on top. I usually say put it right on the roof. So you've got this inside the house and you're putting the decimal right up on the roof in the same spot. Number 5, divide normally, ignoring the decimals. So let's do a couple together and then you can try a few on your own. We will start with 16.4, so that goes in the house. 16.4 divided by 4. Okay? Since there is no decimal here, you don't have to move one over. You can just stick this decimal right on the roof and divide. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Okay, and then you go 4 times 4 is 16. Remember the next step? You subtract. That's right. Okay, 16 take away 16 is 0. Next step, bring down your next number, which is a 4, and we start the whole process over. 4 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 4 is 4, and 4 take away 4 is nothing. So our quotient, or the answer, is 4.1 for this problem. Okay, let's do an example where there is a decimal in the divisor, okay? So, we put the first number in the house, 24.5, and we're dividing it by 2.25. So since there is a decimal right here in your divisor, we have to change this into a whole number before we can divide. The way we do that is moving the decimal point all the way to the end. Move it over once, twice. Whatever I do to the divisor, I also have to do to the dividend. So I take this decimal and move it over also twice. Once, twice. Okay, I'm going to put in a 0 here to fill this space, and the decimal goes right up here at the top. Alright, so now we're saying 225 into 2,450. Well, I know that 225 will only go into 245 one time. My next step, multiply. 1 times 225 is 225. And the next step is to subtract. 5 take away 5, nothing. 4 take away 2 is 2. And 2 take away 2 is nothing. So I have 20. Next step, I need to bring down this 0. Okay? Now, does 225 go into 200? It does not. It goes in there no times at all. 0. Okay, keep going. 0 times 225 is 0. I subtract, and I still have 200, and I can bring down a 0. So now I do 225 into 2,000. Okay? I will find that that goes 8 times. In fact, let's do it right here on this side. 225 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 4 more is 20. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 2 more is 18. So I get 1,800. And I subtract, and you'll see that once again you are left with 200. So it's going to keep repeating itself. So I can write the repeating sign over the 8. 10.8888, or 10.8 with the repeated sign over to show that it's going to keep doing that. So our quotient is 10.8 with the repeating decimal. If you will, what you should do now is go ahead and turn the paper over and try the pause and tries on the back. When you finish, bring them to me. I will check you off. You can grab your 2 tickets and start on the assignment. Make sure you plug your Chromebook in and log out of that. Thank you.